Hey, what's going on YouTube? This is Brandon. I am a BCO over here at LandStar. My trucking company is Dan River Trucking. The channel is Dan River Trucking. So pretty easy. I'm from Danville, Virginia. I wanted to make this video for anybody who thought about becoming an owner-operator or who thought about coming over here to LandStar. I know a little bit about LandStar. I've been here for 6 months, I think. 6 months. Yeah, 6 months. It was my very first time being an owner-operator. To go down a rundown, when I originally bought my truck, I bought my truck before I knew where I wanted to go or who I wanted to get hired onto. I looked at 100 different other companies. I looked at, local owner-operator companies, small mom-pop business owner-operator companies. I looked at like Epps Transport in Greensboro. I looked at J.R. Rothrock in Greensboro. I looked at Red Classic, which is owned by Coca-Cola. And when I bought my truck back in July, I bought a 2015 Freightliner Cascadia with the ISX 15, 450 horsepower. It had 400,000 miles on it, and she is sitting at 438,000 miles now, I think. So I ain't put no whole lot of miles on it. But I bought it in July because I knew I wanted to do the owner-operator thing. I wanted to, I wanted to be my own boss, as they say, pick and choose where I wanted to go. So I tried Red Classic. I went down to Red Classic in Charlotte, North Carolina. Stayed in the hotel the day after I went to the orientation. And after I went to the orientation, they gave us a ride around test. You had to ride around, you sat in the orientation, listen to all their stuff, and then they took the owner-operator guys and they moved them over to another classroom, which was 4 of us, and we had to talk to the owner-operator coordinator guy. And needless to say, there's a bunch of stuff that we started asking the guy who's in control of the owner-operators all about the stuff, like the fuel discounts, the tire discounts, all this stuff that the recruiter told us, and the thing they had on the Facebook, on their online website. And we asked them about the fuel discount, and they said, well, if you don't buy fuel at a Red Classic, which is a terminal, you only can buy it at their terminal. Their discounts at like Love's and Flying J was 5 cents. 4 to 5 cents. Like 4 to 5 cents, that's not a discount. I can get that discount on my own as a regular Joe Blow, just using a rewards card. And then if you bought it there, you get it at a discount price, but you wouldn't know what the price is until you pumped it into your truck. And then next week, when you got your settlement, you turn around, you see you paid $1.94 for fuel, or you paid $2.50 for fuel. You don't know. But like I said, you could only get it from their terminal. So you'd have to go out your way to a terminal, and they didn't have many terminals, to get a decent discount. And still, you wouldn't know what you were buying. Well, then turn around, we had another guy turn around and ask about the tire program. It was like, how's the tire program work? Do you have to call and pay for the tires over the phone, and then you just go to some, to a TA or a Snyder or wherever you go to pick a tire up? Or do you have to get them put on at a Red Classic shop? And the guy looked at us and he was like, by my understanding, we don't have no tire discount. And all 4 of us looked at each other like, yeah, it's on the website. He's like, no, you must have read something wrong. We don't have no tire discount. Well, after class was done at the end of the day, I ran into another guy, the other owner operator, and he was packing his stuff up and he was leaving. because he didn't like none of the stuff that they were saying. He said, I've already been lied to once about the tire discount. It shows it right here on the website, and the guy who's in control of the owner-operators doesn't even know about the tire discount. And the fuel discount's a joke. He said, there's guys over there, they like it, they enjoy it. You got two options. You can get paid by the mile for 6 months, or you can get paid percentage of the load for 6 months. Either or. And but you had to stick to one or the other for 6 months constant. And it was like $1.10 a mile if you did the mileage, and the percentage was like I think 75% or something like that. I can't remember. Anyways, so I left too. I left and called the recruiter and told her everything. I was like, I'm not saying you lied to me, because it's on the website, but this is my first time being an owner operator, and if I'm doing this, I don't want to go with a company that I already have lies thrown to me, and I don't want to fail because I chose the wrong company. So then I started, Googling and looking at stuff, and, I come across LandStar. So I went to YouTube, like y'all are doing now, and I started watching videos. There was 3 main guys I was watching. It was Triple T. He has a YouTube channel. It's called The Trucker Stable. He's really good. And then you got AK Trucker. He's got a YouTube channel. He switched from containers over to LandStar. I think he started like a month before I did. He's a pretty cool dude. I watched him go through the orientation stuff. And then you had Chasing Mr. Hamilton. He's a pretty cool dude. I watch him. He had some bad news. He posted the other day, and we pray for him and hope everything turns out all right to him. I think I've watched so many videos of him. His opening is like drilled in my hand. It's like Chasing Mr. Hamilton is the name, trucking is the game, the wallet gets swole, heart of a lion, the motility of my hyena, or something like that. I don't know. When he goes to doing it, it's like any song, you can sing along with it. But those are some good dudes to look after. And then I come across Nomad Trucker. He's a pretty cool dude. He does a lot of POV, point of view filming, riding down the road, teaching you how to do stuff. But what I'm going to do is I'm basically going to tell you what I did as far as the hiring application, and then what to expect. So, because it's still pretty fresh in my head. So what you're going to do is you're going to go online, you're going to fill out the application, and the application thing's probably going to tell you to download a thing called Drive Axle. I think that's what it's called. Anyway, it's an app that when you fill out the application online, it's going to tell you to download this app. And basically what it does is every time your application moves in a system, it will notify you, hey, it moved from this person to this person, and we need you to upload these documents. And it's pretty easy. You just click the little boxes and you just give the info it needs. If it wants a picture of your ID, you take a picture of your ID and it uploads it and goes straight to your processor person. So it's pretty easy. So you'll turn around, you'll fill out the application, and you'll get some notifications, and then you're like, okay, awesome. Well, then a couple days will go by and you won't hear nothing, won't nothing happen. And you're like, what in the world, man? And the next thing you know, a week will go by. You ain't heard nothing. And then you get a little worried. Well, then that's when you need to call. The best thing to do is turn around and call LandStar and say, hey, this is what I did. That's how I got the ball rolling pretty quick. It's still a long process. It still takes about a month to get on. But I called and I was like, hey, I filled out the application online. I just want to make sure I did everything right because I haven't got anything. And it's like, well, let's find out, blah, blah, blah. And they'll type in your information and they'll say, so-and-so is your processor. let me transfer you to her. And then you'll turn around and talk to her. Let's say her name's Nikki. All right, well, now you'll get on the phone with Nikki and say, hey, Nikki, I called because I filled out an application and they said you were my processor. Now, I was just calling to make sure all my paperwork and stuff that I put in was correct because I haven't heard anything. Just to get them in, you get your name in their mind so they'll get to working. Well, then what she'll do is you'll get like 3 processors, if I'm not mistaken. You get 3 processors. You'll get one, they'll turn around and they call and they turn around and look over all your information, make sure all the information they need is there, and then they'll move to another woman, and then that woman will turn around and she'll call every employer that you work for to verify your work history as far as you working and stuff like that, and make sure you have the experience that you have. I think it's 1 year of over-the-road experience. And then after that's done, it'll turn around and it'll move to the third woman, and she's the one that gets you all set up for everything. She'll set you up for your drug test. You got to pay for your drug test. She'll send you the email anyways for the drug test, and you'll set your own drug test up. And then once you get your drug test done, you have to start within 30 days. They're going to have you in orientation within 30 days because they have to. Because not, then it voids out the drug test. Well, then turn around. You'll have to do your heavy highway use tax. You'll have to send them a copy of that. You have to do that. And then you'll have to turn around and take your truck and get your truck inspected by LandStar DOT inspection site. All your TAs and Petros, they do them, but then you got quite a few mom pop places that do them. Me personally, you need to take, if you have to drive an extra 30 miles to take it to a mom pop place that does LandStar's inspections, then you need to drive that extra 30 miles. Because if you've been in the owner-operator game for a while, you know what I'm talking about. You get them young cats that are working off a commission, and I'm not saying they do it, but we all know that we've seen some of them do it. They'll lie and say, hey, you need this and that. So they're kind of holding you by the balls because they are doing your LandStar inspection. So that's why I said take it to a mile pop place if you can. So after you get that done and all that, you'll take a picture of it and you'll send it in. And then they're going to turn around and need a picture. LandStar is going to need a picture of your engine plate that's got your VIN number on it. It's got your horsepower and all that good stuff on it. I don't know why they need it, but they need it. So after all that's said and done, they'll turn around. If you get them to do your IFTA and you get them to do your tags and stuff like that, they'll turn around and they'll overnight you a package in the mail, usually the Friday before. Like if you start on a Monday at orientation, they'll send it to you that Friday. If you start on a Wednesday, usually they'll send it to you on that Monday or Tuesday. They'll send you a big old package through FedEx or UPS, and it'll have all your DOT numbers, your temporary registration, your IFTA and your tag and all that good stuff will come in, and you'll put it on your truck. And then you'll go down to orientation. You choose what orientation you want to go to. I live in Danville, Virginia, so I chose to go to Jefferson, Georgia, which is they moved it. Now it's in Cranesville, Georgia, I think, is what the little town is. But they got a couple of them around. So whatever one you ever choose to drive, you can go to. If you don't have a whole lot of money, you don't want to be gone away from home for 2 weeks and not make no money, don't drive your truck down there. You don't have to drive your truck down there. If you don't want to, you don't have to. But you will have to turn around and put your own ELD system in your truck. And it's pretty simple. I drove my car down there because I know I seen a bunch of horror stories talking about people waiting 4 or 5 days to get a trailer. Some people wait 2 weeks to get a trailer, and I was like, well, I'm not doing that. I'm not going to burn up $150, $200 in fuel to ride down to orientation center and then pay this guy down to orientation center $150 to put an ELD system in. I wasn't going to do it. So I drove my wife's car down. That gets like 38 miles to the gallon. I paid $20 and got down there and got back. And then what they'll do is they'll give you your ELD system. You get two options. You can go the OmniTrack, which is like the old school that's been around forever, or you can do the Keep Trucking app, which is the more up-to-date version of ELD. And that's what I did. I bought my own Keep Trucking out of Pilot and just had to give them the serial number off of it. And all it is a little bitty box, probably about that big, and it's where your OBD2 reader is. You just plug it in right there, and you run the cable, and it's got sticky tape, and what it is Bluetooth, and that's what I got. It's Bluetooth to this little tablet. You don't have to buy a tablet. You can run it off your phone if you want to. I just bought this tablet, so it sits right there, so I don't ever have to worry about my phone messing up and then don't have a ELD system. Because if your phone messes up and you don't have that tablet that it can Bluetooth to it, then you're kind of screwed. So at least I got this, and then I got a company phone, cell phone that I use, and then I got this phone. So if something were to ever happen, drop your phone, crack it, drop it in water, some reason, get a virus, and it just don't want to work, I always have a backup. But so your first day of orientation, you're going to get there, and it's going to be pretty quick. First thing you'll do is you'll walk in, you'll have a little place at a table, and you'll see a bunch of books and a little green notepad, a pen, and a bunch of other stuff, and you'll take a hazmat test. And if you don't pass the hazmat test the first time, they'll turn around and let you take it a second time. If you don't pass it the second time, you're going home. That's just how it is. I know at the time when I came in, coronavirus was pretty big, so a lot of people that were coming over didn't have a hazmat endorsement yet. I know at one point you couldn't even get on at LandStar if you didn't have a hazmat endorsement, because there's so much hazmat freight over here. You don't have to pull hazmat if you don't want to, but at the time they were requiring you to have it. But with the coronavirus, the DMVs and stuff like that were closed down, so it was taking people 3, 4, 5 months for an appointment to go take the hazmat test. So they let them in at the time, but you still have to pass that hazmat test, and it's open book. They'll have all the books that you need there. They'll have all these books and whatnot, and papers, and so it's an open book test. So if you fail the test, it's basically because you didn't take your time and you didn't go through the book and look for the answers. So after you pass that test, you'll turn around and they'll go over a bunch of other stuff, and you'll watch some videos, boring videos that were made back in the 60s. And then they'll feed you dinner. They'll feed you lunch or whatnot. They'll put you up in the hotel the night before your orientation also. So when you get out of orientation that day, your first day, if you drove your truck down, they'll give you your ELDs, and they have a guy there that will put them in for you. You got to pay him like $100, so take cash with you. I think it's like $100 or $150 or something like that. So if you're in Texas or Indiana or something like that, the guy may charge more. So take $200 cash with you, just in case. You don't have to pay for the ELD and stuff up front. They'll take it out of your settlement. It'll take they start taking it out of your settlement, like I think your second settlement, they'll start taking it out. But it's a little bit here and there. It's like they take out like $10 or $15 until it's paid off. The Keep Trucking app, I mean, I love the Keep Trucking app, man. It's so simple, so simple. A lot more simple than an OmniTrack. I mean, if you've dealt with OmniTrack, then it ain't a big deal getting a new OmniTrack. But like I said, if you never mess with OmniTrack, the Keep Trucking is where it's at, man. It's pretty easy. I love it. The OmniTrack, I think, is like $600 or something like that. If you get to Keep Trucking through them, it's $200. But if you stop at a Pilot or a Flying J, it's the only two places you can get them. You can pick them up for $135. That's what I paid for mine. And then I bought the little tablet. I bought this off of Amazon for $50. And then I bought a mount, and the mount was, I think, $15. So I'm still under the $200 mark. I'm still under $200. So they'll turn around and after they put you in, put your stuff in, the next day you'll turn around, you'll come into class. The second day is all about business, basically. They teach you how to this book right here, I mean, it's quite a few interesting things in this book. Inside this book right here, but they'll give you this book. It's got a bunch of stuff in it. I think one of the things is like it says cost per month, and then they'll give you a little cheat sheet. Let me grab it. They'll give you a little cheat sheet. If you're going to be pulling a LandStar trailer, you know, you get paid 65% of the load. And this right here is basically a cheat sheet. So if you have your own van trailer, you get 72%. And if you have a step deck or a flatbed or something like that, you get 73%. But it's kind of a cheat sheet on how it works. I'll try to get that to focus. Anyways, like if you see a load on a load board, it pays, I don't know, $1,800. Well, $1,800, and that's not taking out no fuel surcharge or anything like that. It's just say when you're looking at it, you see $1,800, you know right off bat you're going to make at least $1,170 off of that load. So you'll take that. They'll teach you how to use the load board. They'll log you in, and you'll play on the load board. And then they'll turn around and give you like this little test to make sure you know how to use the load board. And then after all that's said and done, man, you usually get out about 3 o'clock, 2 o'clock on the last day or something like that. And you're set loose. They'll tell you to call trailer utilization to put you on the list to get put on a trailer. Some people get a trailer within a day or two, and like I said, majority of people, they gotta wait, 4 or 5 days before they find you a trailer. And if you gotta drive more than, I think, 100 miles to go get the trailer, they'll give you money to go get that trailer. I think it's like 68 cents a mile or something like that is what they'll pay you to go pick that trailer up, and they'll put it on your fuel card. But you get 2 cards. You get a fuel card and you get a pay card. The fuel card, I don't ever use it. I get all my advances and everything on my pay card. I just took the fuel card and I threw it up top and forgot all about it. I don't mess with it at all. And also, when you go down to orientation, just try to take in as much as you can. It's only 2 days. Try to take in as much as you can. They'll assign you a BCO advisor, and you'll have a little phone conference with her. I I think the next day or something like that, after you get done with orientation and everything, she'll call you and talk to you. She'll introduce herself to you and everything, and she's basically your point of contact for your first 90 days. No, first 120 days, I think. 120 days is who you'll talk to her about any kind of questions you have. What is this charged for? Who do I talk to when this happens? And stuff like that, to get familiar on how everything at LandStar works. But like I said, I turned around, I drove home, I put in my ELD system, and then I waited. And I want to say probably 5 days went by, and they finally called me and said, hey, we have a trailer for you. And I was like, okay, awesome, where's it at? And they said it was somewhere in Georgia. I can't remember the name of it. And I turned around and I was like, okay, send me the info. They send you the info. I looked it up, and it was like 5.5 hours away, and which was fine. But I turned around and I said, is this guy? I said, where am I picking it up at? And it was like, it's a recovery. And a recovery is another word for repo. Because if you sit more than 10 days and you don't have a load booked within those 10 days period, or have it booked out, then they'll turn around, they'll set your trailer up for like repossession or reassignment, I think is what the word is. And I was like, so does this guy know I'm coming down there to get that trailer? He's like, we haven't been able to get in touch with him, but if you have any issues, give us a call. What? So I got off the phone, and I was thinking, I was getting the stuff ready. I was gonna head down the next day, and I was like, man, I'm not gonna drive 5.5 hours, because I looked online on the address that they gave me, and I pulled up the Google map, and this dude lived out in the middle of nowhere, and it was nothing but woods. And I was like, this dude's not keeping his trailer at the house. There's no way. And I was like, I get down there, this dude don't know I'm coming. There probably ain't gonna be no issue, because the dude's been here a while. He knows how it is. But I was like, I'm just not comfortable with it. So I turned around and called trailer utilization the next day and said, hey, I had something come up. I'm not gonna be able to get that trailer. Just put me back on the list. And they was like, well, it's going, you're not going to be at the top of the list or something like that. And I said, I understand, that's fine. I said, but I got some stuff I got to take care of. And they was like, okay, no problem. I think like 3 days later, they turned around and called me again and said, hey, we have a trailer for you. Are you still wanting the trailer? And I was like, yeah, where's it at? It's like, it's at a customer. It's at a customer's. It's empty, and we don't have a BCO to go pick it up. I was like, okay, great. That was awesome. I drove to Front Royal, which is 3 hours away, I think, and picked it up. And don't book a load just yet, because you want to make sure that trailer is okay to run. You get there, you're excited, you go ahead and book a load, and all this other stuff. You get there, and boom, you got a flat tire, or the lights ain't working, or something like that. So now you got to get it fixed. So wait till you get that trailer, and once you get that trailer, then turn around, jump on a load board, and start looking for something. You're good to go. You're all in a win now. It's all up to you. Make that money, go do your thing. But I'll probably make another video tomorrow. I'll put some up. It's my first video ever, so it might get 1 view, it might get 100 views, it might get no views. But I'm just gonna put it out there. To help people, because I ramble a little bit. I know we're already at 30 minutes, but some people like to go in depth. So anyways, like I said, my name's Brandon. This is Dan River Trucking Channel. I'm a BCO with LandStar. If you got any questions, just put it in the comment section, and hit that like button and hit subscribe, and you'll start getting the videos that I posted up. And then I'll break down on some of the loads that I'm doing, because I don't run that much. On average, I'll probably do 3 runs a week is all I really do. because I take off. I take off quite a bit because I make the money I want to make, and then I go home, and then I just hang at home. So I'm usually out either 3 or 4 days, and I'm home 3 or 4 days, and then when I know I'm going to take a vacation, like me and my wife are going down to the beach for our anniversary for 4 days, so I'm staying out 5 days. This time I left out Monday around lunch, and I'll be home Friday around 1 o'clock, because I know I'm taking that vacation, and I want some extra spending money. Anyways, like I said, hit like, comment, subscribe, whatever you want to do. Y'all be safe out there, and we'll catch you on the other one.